100 shirts for only $395. 20 shirts for only $100. Greenleaf Printing and Designs has stupendous signage, printed and embroidered apparel, and promotional products for you. They're at 5526 Burkhart Road in Dayton and on the web at greenleafprinting.com.
People on site in the neighborhood. Mabel, who's my mom's good friend, owns 3 properties here. She's been here for 57 years. But the people know each other here. It's a small enough neighborhood. As I said, there are now 42 standing houses, and there is a sense of community here. It is a very heterogeneous community. We have elderly people. We have people on Section 8, people who are on probation. We have medical students. We have creative class persons.
I know Mayor Leitzell set this meeting up for you guys today. How do you think? What are your feelings after the meeting?
We are going to be forming our own organization for this neighborhood because a lot of the problem has been that we have been disassociated from the other areas and we haven't had a voice. And I think that we have a voice now and they're listening to us and they're willing to meet with us and talk about the future of this neighborhood in a different way.
So this is like the rebirth of a neighborhood in a way, or a neighborhood association today?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone have an idea for the name of the neighborhood association?
We will let you know about that.
Okay, so how'd you feel about how the mayor was in facilitating this? Are you guys? See, everyone seemed satisfied.
Yes, I believe so. I think you did an excellent job of coming in and being a neutral party and encouraging people to think from the other person's perspective and get people to clarify their position, which was a lot of what we needed, was to hear what people really thinking. Good.
Okay.
I'm impressed that he went to the trouble to do this for us.
Okay, yeah, and get all these players together in the room. What do you think about the meeting today?
I think the meeting was very progressive, come to a common understanding of the goals of our community, that we want to work together with the large institutions that are surrounding us, and so that we can bring together some continuity with the individual homeowner to the large institution. The guy that has a $20,000 home to a multi-million-dollar facility next door, we're trying to bring this community together in some capacity. I think this was the start of it, because we had at the table University of Dayton, Miami Valley Hospital, Goodwill, so I think this is the nucleus of getting us started down the road to developing this, what was called the old Midpark section of Dayton, from the hospital to 35. So I think we're on the right track.
I think to be progressive, we need to look at it more than just the street. We need to develop our community network here, a whole network, and there's a great potential in a property, a great potential services and facilities in here. So we all need to stay on that same page. So anytime anything comes to the city where it's appropriate, I realize it's not all the time, whatever we choose to call ourselves as this group, but we certainly want everyone involved in it. I'd like the city to understand this is a section of the city that we're looking for potential development. We want to work with them.
And people perceive this neighborhood as being dangerous, but you drive down here and you see their kids playing here, their children who are growing up in this neighborhood. And if they're part of one of these multi-generational problems, we may not be able to save every family, but here's an opportunity where with a heterogeneous mix of people and a community that says, we're about helping and healing and finding you and working with you where you are, we can make a difference to a few lives. I just am passionate about the opportunities that I see here and the assets that are around us, that if we can just focus them, we could do something we could really be proud of.
I mean, I will say obviously, neither group got exactly what they wanted, but there was dialogue and there was at least, I think, an understanding of what I felt I needed to do and what Ken and Janet felt like they needed to do, and I certainly, I understand them. As I told Janet, I live in a neighborhood that butts up against a car dealership. I think Aaron and I know exactly what that's like to have that tension between a neighborhood that you're trying to preserve and other users that also have a need.
So you say it's very apparent that they have no overall master
plan for this neighborhood at this moment in time. Doesn't mean the same one. So as investors, you need to make sure that the business value of every single one of those houses becomes $75,000, and they won't be able to afford the value. Right? And that's how you have to look at it. And so
What we need is an official reassurance that counters the rumor mill that's been going for decades, which is that Martin Valley Hospital is just waiting in their box.
well,
So, I mean, unless I can, otherwise it's just me starting another rumor.
Well, I think one of the challenges you have is a neighborhood next to it, and this is every neighborhood that is near an institution, be it next to Grandview, be it next to UD, Sinclair, any large organization that has expanded or has thought about expanding, is you have folks who, on one hand, may be concerned about the expansion, or those that are hopeful for the
No one's gonna come in and acquire property through eminent domain.
Lance Dietrich, I'm Vice President of Business Development for Goodwill Easter Seals in Miami Valley.
Okay. And how do you think the meeting here went with the neighborhood
I
folks?
think the meeting went very well. I think there's a real opportunity for the various organizations, Goodwill, Miami Valley Hospital, UD, to collaborate with the local residents and property owners to really improve the community. And I think this meeting was all about people coming together to do that.
No. What do you think? How do you think with Mayor Leitzell's leadership
I
as
think
far
Mayor
as?
Leitzell did a great job of leading the meeting and kind of pulling everybody together. And he was just really a strong advocate for people working together to improve things rather than becoming opponents.
Sure.
And I think he did a great job of articulating that and moving the whole process forward.
Because property owners in this neighborhood should be excited about it, because you do. You're going to have GE Aviation breaking ground there. You got Goodwill Industries coming in. The hospital's going to be here for the next 200 years probably. So you work with them. They're always developing. So that we're going to widen one street and narrow the other. We're trying to encourage things in this lower end, like Brown Street, to continue on down, which is why we're looking at doing all that. So as a bunch of property owners and investors, you ought to be trying to encourage other investors to come to your meetings and talk, and let them, say, hey, we've got a residential neighborhood, we've got a hospital with thousands of employees, a university with thousands of employees. Can somebody we need a laundromat, we need a hairdresser, we need some basic businesses along here. Could somebody, any investors that might do it? So now you're real estate investors talking to other real estate investors that could potentially make that happen.
100 shirts for only $395. 20 shirts for only $100. Greenleaf Printing and Designs has stupendous signage, printed and embroidered apparel, and promotional products for you. They're at 5526 Burkhart Road in Dayton and on the web at greenleafprinting.com.